Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wild World Tarot deck is Life Lessons card of the Wheel. And thinking about this card today with, yesterday's card of the Two of Arrows and Justice. Yesterday it's all about making that decision, and it's an internal decision. And the wheel comes at a time where it's you have your destiny in your hands. Okay, that's what this card really talks about. And you're the weaver of that destiny, however you want it to be. I mean, you've got the night and the day there. You've got all the elements there with the creativity, the stones holding down the, I don't know if you can see that, holding down the loom. You've got the arrows, court cards, feathers sitting up there, the swan, the hawk, kingfisher, and the wren. You got the psychic energy of the water, behind you. And if you're curious about the fire energy, it's in the hazelnuts. All right. So you've got all of the elements of creativity, knowledge, or logic, reasoning, emotions, in fire. Okay, in creativity, fire, but stones and materialism, and those are. When I look down at here, you've got a good representation as well through the court cards. Now, the horse just dropped off, and he said, I've carried you for the last week, and this is your destination where you were meant to be. Right here at this wheel, to look at the design, to look at what you're creating, right? And yesterday's card, that Two of Arrows and Justice. Even though you're looking within and you're struggling with internal decisions, this card is letting you know that, hey, you've got control of your life. You do with it with what you want, okay? And as a result of those decisions that you've made, walking your spiritual path, all right, the universe is sitting there saying, you know what, we've got you. And it's responding. Right? The herons in the background, I don't know if you can see them, right? They have that psychic and emotional healing for you, okay? And, the energy that they represent is the fates, okay? The loom represents the patterns of fate and chance, okay? But if the loom is sitting there and you've got the sewing thread in your hand with, whatever color you want to make it, go ahead, put a stitch in. Loom that sweater the way you want it to look like, all right? Because every time you do that with your spiritual sweater, all right, you're creating change. And what does that change bring? Change brings new opportunities. Change brings new challenges, new obstacles, all right? And it's unavoidable to remain, during your life. There's always going to be change. You can't step in the same river twice, right? And, one of the things I always say is, rule number 3, you can't change the past. What's in the past is in the past. All right. You can learn from it. You can gain knowledge from it. You can, gain wisdom from it. But at the same time, you can't change it. You can do things differently, if you were in that situation again. All right. And nothing is predestined. Okay. We control that destiny based on the free will that the universe has given us, that God has given us, by making that choice. Now, Spirit knows what that path is for you. And if you stray off that path, eventually they're going to bring you back. All right? Maybe that was a lesson you had to learn. Life lessons card, right? Of the wheel. You had a little squirrel syndrome going on, shiny object syndrome, whatever it is. And it brings you back, okay? And when it brings you back, you've grown from that. You've learned, okay, that, hey, I've been taking it nice and slow and steady, going up and down these hills, going up and down these valleys, and, the horse has carried me. The bear is still sitting there protecting you, asking you, what do you need to preserve along the way? Or where do you need to make space? What do you need to let go of, all right? What do you need to let go of that you're holding internally? In a relationship, in a job situation, job project, however you want to look at it. looking out to the future, I don't want to say the future, but far seeing, like the hawk does, allows you to, say, you know what, if I go down this road, it kind of sets your goals up ahead of time. But you also want to be swift in that action and swift in thought. Okay? And when you're ready to strike, when you're ready to grab that opportunity, you do so. The King of Bows, he's saying, where do you need to take charge? Taking charge of your own destiny, is a great responsibility. Instead of being followers, all right, be leaders in your industry, be leaders in your relationship, be leaders in your church. Everybody's looking for somebody to stand up and say, hey, we need somebody else to, come in here and help. Okay, I'll be that person. A lot of us right now, we're followers. Okay, we're following what's going on. We're sitting on our couch, right, and eating potato chips. All right, we're not getting out there doing the things we need to be doing. Why? Because one, we don't want to. We want to be followers. We don't want to be leaders. All right, because being a leader is tough, right? It means you have to make decisions. It means you have to, stand by those decisions. All right, with an axe and with a shield. Take the criticisms and take the glories. Because there is joy in being a leader. There's joy in that leadership. All right? And, I'm talking about leadership in, if it's in a job or a relationship, but it's also within your own spiritual journey. Take that leadership in yourself. Take that dedication in yourself, right? And, go to a yoga retreat or, get your chakras aligned, something like that. Take those first steps, right? Make that decision of letting go what's holding you back. And that's what that Two of Arrows Injustice was saying yesterday. She's got her foot on that creativity, on that bow. And she's holding the arrows close to her chest. You can't shoot with your feet unless you're skilled at it. But those people are very rare. But here you've got the confirmation that you can create whatever destiny you want. You can move forward in whatever realm you want. Whether that's the realm of the daytime or the realm of the nighttime. Listen to your dreams, right? Listen, be aware of your intuition. Be aware of the elements, the creative thoughts that come into play, the emotional, and I want to say empathy, but the emotional attributes that you carry. Okay, staying financially grounded, knowing where everything's going to be at, and having that plan of coming up to where you want to be. Okay, and just you have the opportunity to change what you want to change in your life, just in your life, because number one is you. Can't go ahead. I seen a cartoon earlier today. A leopard was laying next to, a spotted leopard was laying next to a striped lion. And in the spotted leopard, or the striped lion, was a female, and a spotted leopard was the male. And the caption read, she's trying to change his spots. Okay, you can't change the spots. One person cannot change another, all right? But what you can do is change the environment that you're in, okay? You can change the path that you're on, the spiritual path that you're on. And that's what this card's all about, the wheel. So hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and give me a thumbs up. And this is D for the Spirit's Path, talking about the wheel in the Wildwood Tarot deck. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.